what can I do to lose weight? Well, we have some answers here today that we want to explore, and let's just cover the basics for a moment because it's important to have that foundation. And I know you would have heard at least some of this information some other places, but it is well worth talking about. If you can get the basics in place, along with some other things, then you're sure to have success at your weight loss goals. But let's first start with your goals and your mindset. The first thing is, let's think about this as a long-term project. Not, I'm going to lose 10 pounds in the next week and then I'm done with it. No, this is more of a commitment to your long-term health and well-being. Now remember, the 3 leading causes of death when we think of let's just start with cancer and heart disease, and we can throw diabetes in there as well. These diseases come from a result, or certainly can contribute from being overweight. So we know the connection, of course, to being overweight to diabetes. Heart disease, also obvious. Cancer, maybe not so obvious, but as we accumulate extra weight around the belly, this can lead to imbalances in hormones, and this can lead us predisposed to developing cancer. So we want to use this mechanism of weight loss as a means, or maintaining a healthy weight as a means to protect us from disease. Okay, so that's one thing. This is going to be long-term force. Another thing that we want to be looking at is we don't have to stay focused on just losing 10 pounds in a week. We want to think about, where do we want to be with our health in the next 3 months, in the next 6 months? And this is going to make setting goals and then achieving goals much easier, because you're taking the stress and the anxiety off yourself. So with that all said, where should we start? Well, let's start with an easy one. Let's talk about sleep. In order to get effective weight loss, and by the way, we really want to think about losing body fat, not just losing weight. We want to hold on to the muscle. That's very important for our metabolism. We need to get at least 7 hours of sleep. This is going to foster improvement in our overall hormone profile. It's going to reduce things like cortisol, our stress hormone, which is going to contribute to us holding on to body fat. And of course, it's going to facilitate our ability to heal and recover after exercise. First thing, get plenty of sleep. And of course, as you know, we have many products for doing that. You can choose from Eon, Silent Nights, Alavita, also remember to keep your room nice and dark. Don't drink coffee before going to sleep. And also keep your feet warm. Many people can't sleep, they don't know this, because their feet are cold. And you may find that your quality of sleep is improving just by making your feet a little bit warmer. Next thing that we want to talk about is diet. And just to spend 30 seconds on this, it's been well proven that a diet that is rich in protein, moderate in healthy fats, and low in carbohydrates is going to be conducive to long-term success. It's easy to stay on a diet that is rich in these foods. They're going to be very nutritious, and we stay away from the excess sugar and the excess carbs, and we're going to do really well. You should also have a cheat day at least once a week, and even twice a week is okay. So make a commitment to work Monday through Friday at this, and then Saturday and Sunday are your cheat days. And then finally, exercise. You don't need to go overboard with this. 10 minutes, 3 or 4 days a week is going to be okay as a start. And we won't spend any detail on this. There's plenty of resources, but just start with 10 minutes a few days a week, and you may find after a while that you really enjoy it. Make sure you're challenging yourself with something like resistance training. It could be something as simple as push-ups Or if you really need to lose a lot of weight, then start with walking. Just walk for 20 or 30 minutes, 4 or 5 days per week, and you'll get your body in that rhythm of losing that extra body fat. Now, finally, of course, we should talk about some supplements. And very often, what people neglect is the health of their thyroid, and most of the population is deficient in iodine. Iodine is very inexpensive. You can purchase iodine supplements that are derived from natural sources like kelp or other seaweeds. And you should shoot for, let's say, 1 or 2 milligrams of iodine in your diet. I would also strongly recommend getting rid of fluoride. Do not use toothpaste with fluoride. Fluoride can replace iodine in the thyroid and undermine your production of T3 and T4 thyroid hormones. This will lead to a decrease in your metabolism and will undermine your results. Another thing that is very successful in losing body fat is olive oil. And the Mediterranean diet, of course, is very popular. And I've heard many doctors that I've spoken with say that the attributes, the benefits of the Mediterranean diet can all be attributed to olive oil. So try 2 or 3 tablespoons of extra virgin olive oil. It is a very rich source of monounsaturated fatty acids. These act as anti-inflammatories, and they'll help support a overall health and weight loss program. There's a lot more, of course, to the fat loss story, but I'd recommend starting with some of those. One other area you can venture into is intermittent fasting. This is something that I've used successfully now for the past 4 years. I love it. I eat within an 8-hour window, let's say 5 or 6 days per week, and it is one of the proven methods of getting old dead cells out of the body and extending your life and keeping you healthy and protecting you from disease. So I strongly recommend you pick up a book or read some information on intermittent fasting, and is an amazing tool at supporting your overall weight loss, fat loss goals.
So what do we need? The best patch for this is the SP6 Complete from Lifewave, and it really helps with appetite control. And in this case, we're going to use it on a point that's really great for cravings and addictions in Chinese medicine, and that is Tianwei. So that is at the wrist. If you were to shake hands with someone, we're going to use your left wrist right now because the SP6 is going to go on the left side, and you were to bend your wrist up where that crease is, that is where you're going to put the patch. So I've got tape right now on the back of an SP6 patch just for illustrative purposes, and I am going to see if I can show you my wrist. Let's see if I can do that. There we go. So you're going to put one on the left side, right at the wrist. So again, it's where that crease is. Just put the patch right at the beginning of the crease, okay, and it'll sit on top of your wrist. All right, and that will be the point. You'll use for 12 hours, drink lots of water. That'll help you with your cravings. Now, if you really want to put this on supercharge, you can actually also stimulate the other Tianwei on the other side, so on the right hand. Now, which patch to use for that? Well, my suggestion is one of two. If you have the desire to balance your hormones, you have stress, to balance your cortisol, then you'll probably want to use the Eon patch. This is really great in combination with the SP6. So you can put that on the same point on the other wrist. Again, just, yep, like that. All right, so I'm just putting tape here for demonstration purposes. But when you're using them, of course, you take the sticker backings off, right? Now, if you want to do more detoxification, which is very common if people are, detoxifying off nicotine or something like that, you might want to use the glutathione patches. So the glutathione patches help to elevate glutathione in your body, which is the master antioxidant, which is really helpful too when you're recovering from, cigarette or nicotine addiction, to have some of these toxins removed. So you would put the glutathione on the right-hand side. And then if you really wanted to be fancy, not that it's fancy, you could put the SP6 on the left, the glutathione on the right, and one of the Eon patches behind the right ear. Which is helpful for calming. This is an acupuncture point that actually helps with sleep and calmness. So you can actually put it behind the right ear, and it's also one of my brain balancing points. So this point with Eon, and then with each of your wrists, a patch on each wrist on Tian Wei, and that is really, really helpful for all sorts of cravings and addiction symptoms. So I hope this has been helpful for you.
I hope some of those tips will be of help and you will reach success. Thanks so much.